underage women? Oh no, we ain't starting off like that. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. Yeah. No. See, this is why you gotta tell me when you're about to start the show. Like,
all right, we start the show.
footage. Again, I know our intro isn't nothing special, but I'm just saying the whole point was we got a lot of clips. Again, you can see our faces.
To be clear, what we said prior to me hitting record prematurely.
I don't think that made the air.
Yeah, because hey, not us.
I think it just made I think the pylon was just short of getting knocked over. But I forgot to say this last week during the 2-year anniversary show. Shout out to Troy Cameron again. Thank you for the intro. That's Rainmaker's Revenge from the Made for Love EP. That's on Apple Music, Spotify, Bandcamp, kind of wherever you can find music. Troy Cameron. He teased yesterday he's got something coming up. So shout out to Troy. But yeah, no, I mean, we're sorry we're a little bit late. I had said about 8 o'clock that we would be live in 2 hours, and it turns out we were live 2 hours after 2 hours.
CPT time on Davidson. That's what that is right there. CPT time.
But you were on CTE time because you were knocked the fuck out.
That's called exhaustion time. That and shitty time. So
it's all good. But again, thank y'all for joining. This episode's only going to be live for a limited time. It'll be going up on our Patreon, Banks versus Davis Patreon. At some point, certain episodes will be on the YouTube as well, but we're kind of drive y'all there because you can see some of the exclusive bonus content that we can't put here. But this is just us going live for about an hour or so, and then we'll give you the regular weekly episode planned, which is 2000s Music Part 2 to the 2-year anniversary show. But there was so much news to discuss this week that we had to pod about it. We didn't do it the other night when we recorded, and then basically had a podcast after when we talked for 2 hours.
Bro, then I had to go cut another promo for about an hour and a half. You know what I mean? But this, this is all about the shoot. Also, too, can I let the people know? I'll talk to you about it off air, but we might have a way we can have audio up without the RSS feed. I'll let you know later. But it's a way.
True. But again, the audio is on the Patreon as well. So again, they're $5. So if you're not watching on YouTube and you want to listen on the go, patreon.com. Banks versus Davis.
What? That's the way we can get. That's what I said. I'll tell you off air because even if they get the audio on here, somehow we can still get paid. So at the same time, I want y'all to know this ain't no fucking
scammer.
Yeah.
But
legit question.
I haven't looked up today's math, unfortunately. Let me look it up real quick and read it on the air.
Shouts out to Eastside Stevie too as well. Thank you for subscribing, brother. I see your Abby, so I'm pretty sure you are part of Keek's fan base.
I believe it's just Wisdom is today's mathematics. Wisdom.
Hold on. Who is this? Is this Math Burner account?
That sounds familiar, to be honest. I feel like I've heard that name before.
Same here. I'm like, hold on.
No, I know Math's account to comment.
Exactly. If it was that, I'm like, all right. But shouts out to Eastside Stevie though.
I think it's just Wisdom is today's mathematics. Fucking dot just. But no, again, there's so much news this week. Do you want to remember in Fast Five when they were like, I got the info for you? And he's like, I like my dessert first. And then he's like, now give me the goddamn veggies. Do you want to do veggies or dessert? Because there are two things that really count as three, I'd say. 3 desserts, and then the rest is all veggies in a way.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to start with?
I'm a dessert type of guy. Fuck health. So
all right. So let's start off.
Count as a dessert?
So then that's 4. I was thinking, let's just do the one that we were talking about last night, the Quantumania trailer leak. And Jonathan Majors.
I thought she was about to do some slander. I thought you wanted to start off with that. All right.
No. That's no. Jonathan Majors is Kang the Conqueror. Again, he was at the end of Loki season 1 with kind of more of a charming, funny version of Kang. But this is the real Kang. This is a man who's like seen shit, done shit, been through it. Which is why when Scott Lang's like, I'm an Avenger, he's like, have I killed you before? And then he even knows like Ant-Man. He's coming in like the real sinister energy that I wanted the MCU to have since Thanos has, been finished. At times they botched it with Ultron being a little too cheesy, but then serious, and same thing. Like most of their villains kind of have the same problem. Killmonger again was serious, but then was able to do the high auntie and bring that real you're a fucking heel, like a real bad guy a little bit. What do you think of this leaked trailer again, which we can only see at a slant kind of angle?
I tell everybody when these trailers leak, make sure you download it if you want to rewatch it later on, because Disney did take it down, but some people for some reason still have it up. So it's weird how they still got it up. Maybe they couldn't see it in the thumbnail. They're like, this should look dark as hell. But I thought it was great, man. I think I'm all in. Dan Aykroyd got the biggest pop, but
Bill Murray.
Damn. I'm gonna fuck up names. I think, hey, first time listeners, if y'all hear, I have a thing where I'm gonna fuck up names. Hey, it just happened. Roll with it. But
yeah, no, I forgot that they announced him for this movie. Yeah, but like you said, when he showed up, everyone's like, "Holy shit!" It's like in Zombieland, it's Bill fucking Murray. Like when Woody Harrelson sees that Bill Murray's alive.
Also, it was one teaser that they actually showed. It was like obviously because the trailer was dark and whatever, but they actually showed another villain in that trailer for like a slight second. So
you mean it's supposed to be the Scarlet Witch, right? That or
I'm tired of seeing that bitch. No, it was MODOK.
Oh yeah, which they say Corey Stoll's Yellow Jacket is MODOK. Which again, I like Corey Stoll, so I'm excited for that. They showed again his daughter grown now because that's how Infinity War and Endgame, in the time gap between those, and he's reunited with his daughter in Endgame. But that was a different actress. The whole controversy is that actress kind of felt shafted because they recast her with Catherine Newton, who's kind of a bigger name actress. And again, it seems like she's trapped by Kang and Scott's trying to get her back. But again, it turns into a real heist movie again. It's I want you to steal something from me because, again, that's Scott Lang's expertise, as he's a thief. But it's what does he need him to steal? And it's a real teaser trailer. Besides the fact that we couldn't see anything, it's just not much is going on except we're finally getting this real look at Kang, who's going to dominate the next 3 years of the MCU.
Fact. So, I mean, I like his intro. He came through again, the Undertaker.
Yeah.
Like you said, have I killed you before? Which is setting up for the new phase of the Avengers as well.
Yeah. And multiverse. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it probably is. Is I killed the Avengers in my verse or multiverses because he can. Quantum, look it up. It's a whole backstory to it, or if you want to check it out, and they'll give you more insight this upcoming week. Black Variant. They'll talk more about it more than us because they know more. I know comics, but they know way more than me, so I don't want to fuck it up. But
yeah, we more focus on the movies as movies in terms of this is Peyton Reed has returned as director. Jeff Loveless, who wrote the film, is going to be writing Kang Dynasty. They announced that last week, so there's some crossover there. And the fact that he probably did all the research for King writing this, that they needed someone who has the expertise again to build the whole film around that. Again, like Paul Rudd's back, Michael Douglas, Michelle Pfeiffer, Evangeline Lilly.
If they don't know, let them know where their reference comes from.
Oh, it's a great Key and Peele sketch about the Batman when they talk about, you know, Danny DeVito. It doesn't even do like the walk, like, and then Catwoman, Michelle Pfeiffer. The best is like, but who was the man that trained the Batman? Liam Neeson's ting ting. He was the Batman. Ting.
He goes to sleep
again.
in that
It's
Eastside
October. It's October, so I got to start rocking OVO merch for the month. Yeah, Michelle Pfeiffer is back. Still looking good for a woman her age, even though they've also aged her up. And again, she was in Dangerous Minds, which again was R.I.P. Coolio, which he was in. How she was the Catwoman in Tim Burton's Batman Returns. Like I said, Bill Murray, which I had forgotten, and Jonathan Majors. And funny enough, this is the same week as Jonathan Majors being announced as Dennis Rodman in this biopic about the 48 hours he went to Vegas. And you were just kind of like, throw the damn towel when this was announced.
Yeah, because this would probably work best as a miniseries.
No.
Yeah, because the thing is, all right, so you get an hour. They're going to make it 2 hours because every movie, especially if it's a biopic, it's all, even though this ain't a biopic, but every movie like this, they try to make 2 hours.
They should really make this like Winning Time. Yeah. Like, talk to the camera, make it super cartoony. Like, don't try to make this like a real, don't do the King Richard. This is so real, but it's not. Make it like this is a cartoon. What's going on? Because again, Dennis Rodman was a cartoon character to the media, at least. But when those 48 minutes, no one was playing harder than him. So I think you have it. I mean, he'd be believable with Dennis Rodman. Like they kind of have the same build. I could see him with the colored hair, and all that.
I thought you were about to say the same nose. I'm about to say brother.
No, I'm just being like, because again, Dennis Rodman's only 6'6". And John Majors is like a tall actor, so they can again cast shorter guys or whatever. But who are they going to get to play Carmen Electra is what I wonder. I mean, could she still play Carmen Electra? I mean,
no, get Doja Cat.
Yeah, I mean,
two great looking white women. Where one of them looks like Mansion Boo now, so get Doja Cat. If she unavailable, get Zoe Kravitz. If she unavailable, I don't know. I'm running out of half white women.
Is Carmen Electra really
white?
So why is it? I didn't know. I don't really know what she is. To me, she's one of like, I don't know what you are.
She is from.
I've never
Ohio,
looked into
brother.
Like,
they ain't got no.
Oh yeah, I know that. Ohio. Yeah. Okay.
First of all, she about the.
I'm not associating Electra with being a Spanish thing. Because don't forget, Electra in the MC in the comics is supposed to be Greek. So like, take it easy. Take it easy. Like.
Yeah, her and Savannah James are the finest women to come from Ohio. I couldn't name no other women to come from Ohio.
Okay, Mark Jackson, settle down.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, well, I know what somebody would say.
I know I'm about to be Jeff Van Gundy when we talk about Rihanna as a Super Bowl performer, but settle down.
Yeah, that's all you right there, player.
But yeah, again, like you said, you really hope that this is going to be kind of realistic and.
I don't care. I'm gonna watch it anyway.
But I thought you were the one who said like, "There's what more did we need to tell about Dennis Rodman after he had his own 30 for 30 and The Last Dance?"
And that's a fact. We don't need to see anything else. His 30 for 30 is great. The Last Dance is great. He's been on the podcast with Mike Tyson. He's been on other podcasts and told the same stories. I don't really care. Like they're gonna tell me about him having 48 hours in Vegas. Okay, cool. Let me tell y'all about Banks' 48 hours in Vegas. That's a little bit more interesting.
Do it.
A lot of vodka and a lot of walking in the heat with church shoes on. And a lot of my homeboys calling females bitches and we almost getting kicked out the club. And I just fucking leave like, bruh, man, just and just dip out before security try to hem me up. That's it. Everybody got the same experiences.
Doesn't really sound like a story. It just sounds like some facts.
Well, isn't a story supposed to have facts in it? That's what makes it a story.
But no, I mean, you think they're gonna get someone to play Hulk Hogan in this movie?
Yeah.
Who should play Hulk Hogan in this movie?
Terry Crews.
Yeah, that's a good choice.
That's it. Otherwise than that, I mean, how many other racist white swole dudes can I think of? There's too many. You want to put Bill Watson and dig him up?
This is before Double Team, right? So they couldn't even like shoehorn someone in to be Jean-Claude Van Damme. Of like,
yeah, who you get to play Jean-Claude Van Damme? Probably
me.
That's funny. I actually was about to say that.
Denise.
I was actually about to say that.
How you doing, my man, Denise?
You ain't got no cockeye like him though. His eyes be up here like this now.
Are they?
Oh, man, cocaine and fucked it. I don't know what type of batch he got, but his eyes be.
Nah, you probably got kicked in the head on a stunt. Like,
yo, cocaine and getting kicked in the head. Well, that's how we got Antonio Brown. So never mind.
Yeah. Jeez, what a guy. What a piece of shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Hey, it's been a weird 2 days. People been wilding.
Nah, see what's so funny again? It's like everyone was hyping up his fucking song, and then like he does shit like this, and it's like, man, this man's really crazy. It's like, did you not hear or see the performance? And like, you mean it, or like the past 5 years of football, like this incident yesterday, like that's where you drew the line.
That's what I'm saying. They talking about CT. Ain't no fucking CT. He crazy. It might be something to that, but stop putting shit on CTE, huh?
Ain't he from Florida?
From fucking Broad County. Thank you. That's what I was about to get to. Stop saying because of CTE. He probably has CTE. What football player doesn't? All right. 90% of boxers and football players have brain damage. But y'all can't just put it because he probably has
Let me get a shisha challenge. Like
Like, y'all can't put it on that, bro. Like, he's been out of his mind before that, yo. Stop putting it on CTE because y'all want to defend people that y'all like. Stop defending people that you like, you stupid motherfuckers, because they probably don't like you.
People weren't even liking. People were laughing at again. I know you were trying to say the music's actually good. People were laughing at him the whole time. Like, let's be honest.
Well, they've been laughing at him, but he's not.
That's what. But no one was genuinely like, "Oh, like this shit slaps." I know you were trying to be like that, but again, the whole time, like,
no, it does slap though.
Okay, here you have. Well, again, you have CTE as we already established at the start of the show, and as Joe has said many times when you were producing, like
maybe so. I do this shit every single day, sir.
But you're from fucking South Central, like
yeah, we don't have.
What's your excuse? You're from Florida on the west side, like
Florida. No, don't ever disrespect South Central like that. Don't ever do that, bro.
What, Florida West?
Yeah, don't ever do that. California is way worse than Florida.
So you want to have a who's
California, bro? I ain't seen.
You want to have a versus of who's worse, California or Florida? Like
the only time you see water in California is when you take a shower or wash your hands, bro.
Okay, you know what? We're not. Don't do that. Don't do that. No. That's real. Like
it's a drought. I'm going back to the East Coast where it's cold. It's 90 degrees.
But we had to just kind of touch on that news. I don't even think they announced a director or a writer, just like he's going to star on this biopic. But let's get back to Quantumania real quick. Again, I haven't watched She-Hulk yet. I only had started Miss Marvel for the first episode, so I got to get caught up, especially before Wakanda Forever. We didn't talk about that leaked trailer that you had sent me, and how amazing that looks. This is like 2 weeks ago, remember?
Nah, because this yeah. So that one I sent you, I was like, I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
Did they take that one off?
I think so.
Because as you're speaking right now, one of my tabs, I got the Indiana Jones 4 trailer. I'm sorry, the Indiana Jones.
No, dude, it is Indiana Jones 4 to you.
The Indiana Jones 4 trailer. Yeah, I was like, hold on, let me make sure that other movie doesn't exist. So I was like, all right, yeah. 4.
I thought you had played it perfectly, and then you just like, wait, oh shit, that was like you stuck on your own joke.
I forget I had that running joke for the past 10 years since that movie came out. Yeah, shit, it's been 9-10 years now. Oddly enough, last night I was looking at.
So yeah, it'll be
Damn, that was 08?
Yeah.
I thought it was like 2012 for some reason.
No, because it's the year after Transformers.
You know what's crazy? So speaking of him, your boy, I was just on TikTok last night when I couldn't sleep, and apparently he has an acting school in Compton. I'm telling you what I saw in the description. They said Los Angeles community.
I was tempted to listen to his the podcast he did with John Bernthal, but I'm also like, yeah, I really don't want to hear a guy who's like done a bunch of terrible shit try to defend it.
Yeah, he was on there talking. They had the clips from that too, and they was talking about he can cut a promo. I'll just say that, but I ain't.
That's the thing. And then by admitting like his dad was never like that in the movie that he wrote about his dad and his relationship, like that's again really like like what like
he's a liar.
Well, he's
a liar. He's fugazi. He just make it look good.
Yeah, well, I mean he's an actor. Come on, like that's what they do.
He was cutting the promo of his life on that podcast. Like
that's what I'm saying. That's, to be honest, that was one of the reasons I wanted to listen to it, but also like not want to, because I'm like, oh, is this guy gonna sell me on like his story of redemption, or is he gonna be genuine? Like a real genuine podcast I listened to was Andrew Garfield on Mark Maron's podcast, and you could hear Andrew Garfield, but he's also not religious, but in a way spiritual now that I think he probably was before. But him talking about the passing of his mother, that really hit me a lot. But also Mark Maron talked about how he had lost his part. It was a good podcast too, but also he spoke on the anxiety of being Spider-Man and kind of why he was, and somewhat glad like they didn't continue, but he also had no problem coming back. Mm-hmm. But again, like the Shia LaBeouf thing is just a whole different, again, especially with what he's been accused of and what's been known. Again, he was on, there's footage of him calling cops the N-word and all that, and like he had a great story once in terms of like being drunk as fuck at the show Cabaret and grabbing Alan Cummings' ass as he like walked by. I was like, he told this whole story on Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel's probably just like, what the fuck is going on? Like, but Jimmy Kimmel's also kind of like a shit stirrer in a way in terms of like that form of comedy.
I know people that went to that weird ass thing he was doing on Melrose.
Oh, where you can go and like yell at him or do whatever, basically, yeah.
Yeah, and then he just no-selling. The greatest no-sell job ever since Taker in '92. But it's just like,
don't forget, he had the whole thing where he was in he rented out a whole movie theater to watch his movies, and they had a camera on him the whole time, and who knows like if that was a shoot or like a work.
It was a shoot.
I know,
but fucking crazy.
Yeah, his whole.
Some people are just crazy, man. I'm here to say on BVD. Oh no, I know. Some motherfuckers are just crazy.
He got those tattoos for real for fucking the tax collector. That's where like
couldn't draw a dollar. Got all them tattoos, couldn't draw.
Well, that's David Ayers as well. David Ayer being a fraud. He could write great movies like Training Day and The Fast and Furious and SWAT. And
I'm here to say this ain't got nothing to do with David.
Street Kings.
He one of the motherfuckers that hang around the essays that probably hate black people, but then he tried to.
I told my brother. I told you about this. Yeah.
Yeah, he made fucking The Crocodile and Suicide Squad, Killer Croc, watch BET. Like, all right, bro.
Yeah.
No, y'all can fool me. I'm from LA. I know how these motherfuckers get down.
Yeah, go fucking social justice warriors. Go cry about that. But when you're too busy praising DC for all they do, go talk about the stereotypical racism bullshit he pulls off in that. I don't see y'all fighting back against that.
Man, fuck all y'all people. I'm here to say that. Not y'all that's here. Thank you for being here. But a lot of people I say fuck y'all.
But again, Quantumania comes out I think like a week before my birthday in February. So we'll be talking about that then.
A whole lot of swimming around the fishes. And some fishes.
But I hope they actually release the real trailer soon. I think there was already a report like a few days ago prior to this leak even happening that the trailer will be coming soon, because they have this coming week. Marvel has that Werewolf by Night short film on Disney Plus coming out. They said we're a month away from Wakanda Forever, so they got to start selling these movies, especially these movies that are going to be coming out in 5 months now, like less than 5 months. Yeah,
I got a theory.
Go ahead.
They hiring somebody to leak these trailers, bro. Nobody's
to gain goodwill back. You mean like, or to get people hyped?
To get people hyped, because nobody just not saying that it can't happen. It's been happening for years. But it seems like this always happens. Then they pull it, and then they like, all right, now we got to drop the trailer. No, motherfucker, y'all are setting this up because y'all expect this to happen. So why not release a trailer now?
Because before they would like attach a trailer again to like Jimmy Kimmel, like Tom Holland's on Jimmy Kimmel. He's like, I got the Spider-Man trailer. Would you like to see the Spider-Man trailer? And everyone's like, yeah. So like, let's play the trailer. And then like again, they put the Civil War trailer on Jimmy Kimmel. Like that's how you used to sell movies 6 years ago. But again, like so they either leak. But you're saying it's
because artists do that.
Insider leaking, yeah,
because when artists do that, what they mean is like Kendrick never had music leaking up until like a year or two ago. So now it's like his music started leaking before his new album. They do that like as a test screening. Like Drake do the same thing. They like, all right, let me see what people saying online because it'll hit more online than it would at a movie theater because nobody goes to the movie theater. And then it's like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, they hype for it, cool. Now let's put out the big trailer. So then, you know what I mean, we can start getting hyped. But I think somebody is doing this shit because like that trailer is not even off Twitter right now. The Ant-Man trailer, like I just checked, the same account. Some people taking down, but it's just one person. She still has it up. And I saw it early this morning. Usually it used to be like they'll take it down ASAP within 5 minutes when they start getting hyped. One person has it up. I'm like, I'm on Reddit right now. Like I said, I got the tab open for the Indiana Jones leak trailer. And it's like, this is Reddit, bro. Y'all don't think it's conspiracy? Y'all think that's suspicious? Like Dr. Umar
No, I
saying.
think I think what you're saying is true.
Like you got to do like the back in the day, you would have your street team.
Yeah.
Like put out a street single if you're a rapper. It's like, all right, cool. Let's test it, see how it is. And then you put out the main single. And then from there, you start the promotion. So I think they're doing that now with movies.
Because they're pissing everyone off with how their movies have been and how their shows have been, at least in terms of hits or ice, like red hot or ice cold. Like Thor: Love and Thunder was ice cold to people. Miss Marvel, red hot. So you kind of gotta your goodwill. You're losing that a little bit with how hit and miss you've been, in most people's opinions, since Endgame, and everyone is so hyped for King, not just because Jonathan Majors is a great actor and is going to play the hell out of it. I mean, he did in that episode of Loki, and I had said at that time, I hope like what's happening now, like we get a more serious version. Even though he was great at that comedy one, again, this guy who's kind of like alluding to a lot of things, but also like I'm not the man you should really worry about. I mean, I've seen and done a lot of things too, but there is someone far more sinister out there, and that's the man we saw in this trailer, and we'll see. And again, the body count, he's probably going to rack up. Like, again, do we think he's going to kill Ant-Man in this?
He's one of the last Avengers, isn't he? That's alive.
There's him. I mean, you can count me again, Falcon, Winter Soldier. I mean,
yeah, but they branching out doing something else, so they might show up in the Kang Dynasty. But
Thor, Hulk. I mean, there's still some, yeah.
Yeah, they trying to get rid of the OG ones because you got to make the new Avengers.
But again, there's also the chance that Scott Lang could come back in the multiverse with, again, a different variant, which is the whole mindfuck of like, oh God, like how are they gonna bring? Again, they could bring Robert Downey Jr. back to life potentially, and like I understand why they want to.
Well,
they
say he's gonna be in the Armor Wars, which was supposed to be a TV show. Now that's a movie.
That was like when we covered D23 a few weeks ago. They didn't have anything about Armor Wars, and that was something they had announced at Comic-Con. And then now it's a movie instead of a show, which I think they probably learned their lesson from Falcon and Winter Soldier. Like, let's not stretch out very thin material. Let's just give the people what they want, and that's a bunch of suits. Like, let's not do a lot of the bullshit politics or care about these villains who, yes, I know they kind of have a code, but they're still the bad guys and all that. So Armor Wars being a movie is a much more palatable. But the other movie that is actually in more trouble, it's a movie that, again, everyone was hyped once it was announced, was Mahershala Ali's Blade. And apparently this week they lost their director. You had sent me something that said Sam Raimi was going to replace him, but I haven't seen confirmation of that. However, Sam Raimi did replace Scott Derrickson kind of right before production started on Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. If Sam Raimi just becomes like backup director, I'd love it because, again, I'm one of the few people who thinks Multiverse of Madness is truly great, like phenomenal. So him stepping up to do Blade, I think he would kind of lean more into that like Evil Dead gory horror that he was doing in Multiverse of Madness, that probably amplify it because again, this is the Daywalker we're talking about.
Yeah. Also, I'm looking up right now. When did this article? When was it written? So posted September 30th, 2002. So the plot details actually leaked out, which lets you know, yeah, they like over it. And besides that, they rewriting the script anyway. Now that they get a new director.
Yeah, the thing you had sent in that was a little bit more believable because again, let's be honest, why we all know why this movie's in trouble because they hired an actor and that was it. And apparently they didn't even hire the actor. The actor said, I want to do this. And Kevin Feige said, say less.
Right.
That was the story coming out of that Comic-Con in 2019 was Kevin Feige said, Mahershala Ali called me and said, I want to do Blade. And Kevin Feige said, it's yours. And then they gave him again that hat at Comic-Con like he was the number one draft pick. And like, again, we heard nothing all of 2020. Again, that was COVID. So they were trying to focus on the films that they were either already in production or just finished production with. And then come 2021, like again, it's still shaky half the year. I think they didn't announce this director until the end of last year, or maybe the start of this year. And the whole thing was again, what's going on with Blade? What's going on with Blade? Like Mahershala Ali's been doing like movies for Apple. Again, this man has 2 Oscars at home. Like he can do whatever he wants as well. I'm not entirely surprised that this director left because again, they just hire these red shirts to call it, to reference them like that you're familiar with in Star Wars, like Star Trek. Whoa. These NPCs basically are these directors a lot of the time, like people that can easily be replaced or are just on set to carry out Kevin Feige's orders, which is why someone like Matt Shankman taking over the directing duties of Fantastic Four after he did WandaVision is just like he knows what Marvel wants because he did it so well with that. So let's just plug him in there. But this guy who had only done like 1 film prior, coming on do a big project like Blade, even though it's the rumors are that there's only like 2 big action scenes and that's a very thin script, right? In terms of like there's not much, it's a very simple movie, which
it's only 90 pages. But my thing is, of course, I would like to see this iteration and his character in a feature film. But it goes back to like, why not put it on the show? You'll save more money. And then now, because they have to rewrite it, you might have to push the movie back to 2024, which is fine because now y'all own 2024. Like 2023, Marvel owns the year damn near. But 2024, y'all bought the only thing that's out. But then it started getting complicated because it's like, unless you want to do something like Good Friday, what Kanye was doing, you got movies dropping damn near every Friday or every month, which is fire. It's like you got to use it like the mixtape game. Hell,
a movie and a show dropping pretty much,
which is fire. But at the same time, it's gonna get kind of convoluted because people gonna be like, "Damn, bro, there's a lot going on right now." And then
that's what we've talked about this entire year is again with Moon Knight, and then Thor: Love and Thunder was coming up. But prior to Moon Knight, right after Moon Knight, it was Multiverse of Madness, and then Miss Marvel dropped in between those, and after Thor: Love and Thunder, it's She-Hulk, and now we have Wakanda Forever again. They're just doing so much in between, and you're either getting lost in the shuffle or you're seeing why some stuff is really good and some stuff is really bad. And we've talked about that the last 4 months is you're so streamlined that you're not spending your entire time tinkering every little bit to make sure it's good. On the flip side, DC is doing the opposite, which is why Black Adam, I think the CGI for that is why it looks so good is one of the rumors that they wanted to spend the proper time getting the CGI and that film will look good, which is why they delayed it again after all the rumors of Marvel. I mean, in terms of once the rumors of Marvel and how they were treating the CGI artists came out, it was like the big thing in that story was Black Adam pushed its date to the when it's coming out now because they wanted to spend more time to get it properly fixed and all that. So Kevin Feige has to just slow it down, is what we've talked about, and I think he probably will after this phase or next 2 phases, hopefully. Because
after the 4th one, you got because where else do you go?
No, I mean after like this saga, I should say, after the multiverse saga, like what again? That's when you like is that when we get the X-Men? Because that leads us into our next thing, like, which is Deadpool 3 and Hugh Jackman coming back as Wolverine. I know this is your least favorite news story of the week.
Hold on.
Well, maybe you should have.
Look, maybe I should.
Shut up, Ralph. Shut up!
Who's that directed at?
Everybody involved with this fucking project. We don't need it, bro. When they announced Deadpool 3 a couple years ago, I said, oh, the incels get their fucking turn. Hooray.
Okay, you talking about me now?
No, not you, because you actually wash your ass, I think, bruh.
You know, we were in a house for 5 days. Did you see
I didn't wash
me not-
your ass.
I'm saying, did you not see me? Did I smell in that house? Like, come on.
Yeah. I smell pussy.
Well, that's because, ecstasy. So
We're going back to Dallas. Anyhow. No,
I know I need to. There are some other reasons I need to. Yeah.
We all figure.
Unfinished business. Yeah.
Me as well. We're going back to Dallas.
We're going to do the Hangman Page. Like the theme, like,
when y'all see another live show like we did
I want to
before,
be a cowboy, baby.
yeah. And it's Cowboy season 2, so I definitely need to go to
Giddy up.
AT&T Stadium. I need to go to Arlington too, even though it's a little on the outskirts of Dallas. Besides that,
Are you skipping Art Basel to go to Dallas? I would actually kind of be for that, to be honest.
let's see, because it's definitely vacation time coming up. So yeah,
But then again, you said that woman was in Florida, right? From the TikTok you sent me. Oh, you said she was in Houston. Oh, see, even
she
better.
in
Yeah,
Houston. Yeah, she in
so,
Houston.
Yep. We're
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, sign up for the Patreon. I'll tell y'all exactly how you can see them. I'll tell y'all who to connect to. No. So
Again, you asked me how much I said.
why should I care? This 50-year-old man who's a great actor who has sold his soul to Disney, he could be doing other great movies. He's a thespian. He decides he wants another check.
I think that's what it is. So, like, let's be honest. Like, Hugh Jackman, again, really talented actor. Like I said, watch stuff like The Prestige. Again, his performances as Wolverine too is like that character shouldn't have been as good as it was, considering how he in the comics. Again, he's just one of many Knicks. I know he was the the lead member in terms of like the star power. But Hugh Jackman is a great actor too. Like, I don't know if Doug Ray Scott, who was originally planned to play Wolverine, we would care about Wolverine this much if Doug Ray Scott was playing him. But since Hugh Jackman is again song and dance man, great serious actor, great comedian at times, that's why this character has so much love. And whether you like the solo movies or not, he was great in the X-Men movies. But I think he came back because, like you said, he can do all these roles and they either haven't worked or he's like, I did it and I kind of want to go back. Granted, they gave him a check and said, write what you want to. Like, let's not sugarcoat or, say like, again, this man's doing it for the love of the game. He was like, so any number? And they're like, yes. He's like, interesting.
Why? I need
that's English. You
all this shit sound the same.
He's so perfect. Remember he said that to Zack Ryder. He's like, you're an underdog. You're perfect. Like, and he punched fucking Dolph Ziggler and broke his jaw. Like,
they was like, excuse me. They said, basically, yeah, he did it for the check, which I ain't it's not a problem because I'll listen to Grillin' JR with Sting on it. It's a 5-hour episode, so yeah, I got to break that shit down in increments. And they talked about it. Then JR said it best, like I always say on here. He said, most dudes that say they're doing it for the love of the game are lying. It's about the money.
Yeah.
And even Sting was like, yeah, that's about right. Because I know Sting.
That was literally his whole career. That's why he didn't like a lot of times care about like his creative direction. The one podcast, the Laps Fan podcast, they had like an admiration for him at first, but when they kind of heard him speak about his career, they're kind of like, man, this guy was just in the business because it was like a job. Like, it wasn't like a passion. Yeah.
He kind of gave it up on there too. I felt like I heard it years ago. JR, he was on JR podcast. They just combined it. And
you're also, again, we're previewing this month's Wrestling Verse. And we'll be up in the rafters. Again, we're not just trying to drive people to the Patreon because we want your money. Again, there's only so much we can do here, and we love the content we're giving you here. Again, this is our expertise. This is our bread and butter. But there's where you can get like
And we
like,
drop shit almost every day. We ain't
with the
rapping.
flow. Like, this is us like really like properly cooking the steak and like sprinkling the seasoning on, because we're not gonna get in trouble with copyright by like watching a whole playlist of Crow Sting segments. Because that's what we're gonna be doing. I said like it's October, it's spooky season. Let's paint our faces. Let's put on some black trench coats. Some not like that.
Sure.
Let's carry a baseball bat and just sit up in the rafters, and then that's what we'll be doing. That was my choice, but yeah. Hugh Jackman is again. Well, here's what happened since Logan. I think he was basically like doing a stage show for like his own like a one-man show where he would like go and I think sing and dance and do comedy. I believe. I think it was coming through Minnesota like 2018, 19. I was like, because I think when I was looking at tickets or something, I was like, Hugh Jackman, like just him, like just him on the show, like.
What is it called? Chasing Gators?
He's not Crocodile Dundee.
He should do that. Why don't they remake that? That would be more interesting than fucking
You don't
Deadpool 3.
remember the fake ad they did with Danny McBride as the son of Crocodile Dundee? Oh, you gotta look up. It's pretty good. He's like Crocodile Dundee's son, but he's American because he grew up in America. And Chris Hemsworth is like the son of Crocodile Dundee's old sidekick. And it's a pretty good skit. But no, there's again, I'll kind of get into this in a second about Crocodile Dundee and Hugh Jackman, but he did that movie Transcendence. No, not Transcendence. Fuck, that was the Johnny Depp movie. What was the?
I got you, pal.
It was on
all of it better than the shit he's about to put himself through. So.
Oh, it was on HBO Max. It was that movie that the Careers of Westworld.
The Great Showman.
No, that movie made a shit ton of money. That was him doing what he wanted. That was a thing.
Was it Lise Morales, whatever that shit is that came out 2012? The movie that got all the Oscar buzz. No, I've seen that though. I'm just trying to admit that I've seen that movie with Russell Crowe and all that.
What are you talking about? Oh, Les Miserables.
Yeah, like, I've seen that shit.
Reminiscence is the movie I'm talking about. Yeah, that movie flopped. Like that movie. Let me see. Yeah, $54 to $68 million budget. It made $16 million.
What the fuck is The Great Showman?
The Greatest Showman is the story of the guy who like invented the circus or whatever.
That's fine.
Yeah, P.T. Barnum. It's a P.T. Barnum movie. Yeah, he made a shit ton of. Yeah, because it's Zendaya and Zac Efron and Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, I never thought about watching that. It got Oscar buzz, but
yeah, he did another serious movie called The Front Runner, which he played the politician Gary Hart. He did.
His best movie, well, his second best movie is Van Helsing anyway.
He did this movie Bad Education, which again, him trying to act and be a regular guy, even though again he's this handsome man who's 6'4" and jacked. But like, let's try to say you're a regular a high school principal. Did this movie Reminiscence? He has this movie this year coming out called The Sun, which everyone is saying will get him an Oscar nomination.
Did you see? I think you did because I saw it on your Disney Plus Free Guy.
I watched Free Guy. Yeah.
How is it? I thought about watching it. I watched a couple minutes.
It's not good.
That sounds like hard fucking pass.
Well, now we get into the other part of why you're upset about this movie. Ryan Reynolds, okay? Okay, so we've talked about Ryan Reynolds numerous times. We talked about him when he showed up in Hobbs and Shaw. We talked about him during our Red Notice watch-along, aka Gal Gadot residue. So Ryan Reynolds, again, for the past 25 years, I'd say, Ryan Reynolds has won the hearts and also pissed off a lot of people by being handsome, charming, funny, which means all the time he's been very one note. He's basically been Van Wilder for over 15 years now.
I left it off my list too.
Well, that's 99, I think.
That still count.
It's 99 or it barely bridges the gap, but he was that in Waiting. He was that in Just Friends. He was that in, again, that's why he was Deadpool for Wolverine Origins. Like this guy who's going to say a bunch of one-liners and then kill you with some swords. Like, and then they botched that character. He becomes Green Lantern. Horrible movie. Just everything about it. God awful. But he met his wife, so you can't blame him. And then he tries and all this time he does like these serious roles where people are like, oh yeah, you can kind of you're an actor as well, but like they don't hit. Except Buried. He's good in Buried when it's just him acting. He's the only person we see in that movie.
Well, he buried alive. Of course you can act. Motherfucker, I need to get up out of here.
Yeah. But and then Deadpool comes out. It's a huge success. So again, it was a character he was born to play in a way, because there was that one comic, like after a few years, they were like, what do you look like under that mask? And the guy in Deadpool says Ryan Reynolds. And so like the two were destined. Deadpool's a huge success. Deadpool 2 is great. It's better than the first one. Again, success as well. In between, he had made all the jokes about Hugh Jackman and Wolverine. Remember, he takes off the mask at the end, and it's the Hugh Jackman staple to his face. And then he opens Deadpool 2 with like, fucking Wolverine, man. He gets to die. Like, I'm gonna die. So like, and over like the last, I'd say 8 years or so, I don't want to say this phony friendship, but like this on-air friendship between Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds, whether it's at like premiere screenings or behind the scenes stuff or like on Twitter. They play up like they're buddies, and maybe they are. And a lot of times it's pretty funny. Like the one I just watched today was like in 2016 when Hugh Jackman did the movie Eddie the Eagle. Ryan Reynolds hands him a knife and he says like, can you say something for me? And he's like, okay. He's like, here's a knife. And he's like, well, that's not a knife. Like, this is a knife. And Ryan Reynolds goes, yes, like you did it. Like, so there's like, and Ryan Reynolds kind of like wears people thin with his sense of humor. You're one of them in particular, right? Like,
yeah, but it's no heat. It's just, all right, bro. It's not funny anymore. Try different jokes. But I got to remember, he's white and he's Canadian.
Exactly. But he's also trying to be a mogul because he owns a soccer team. He has a gin company. He owns a cheap cell phone service.
What the fuck you gonna teach me, P90X? Get in there and lift some weight stick, man.
However, the PSA they made for this announcement was great. I'll give them credit for that. When he's like, thank y'all. He's like, we've been working hard on Deadpool 3, even though we don't know what it is. He's like, we spent months trying to figure it out. And then someone walks by, and for a minute, I'm like, that's not actually Hugh Jackman. They used a stand-in and just like use Hugh Jackman's voice.
Right.
But then the next day, they drop a video where they're actually side by side. So I'm like, oh shit, they're for real. Like, okay. Because I'm like, oh, they're just using trick filmmaking again, like that. Because we didn't see Hugh Jackman. That could be any tall guy that looks similar to Hugh. Again, his stunt double could have been doing that, and then like just be Hugh Jackman's voice. And I'm like, all right. But again, they announced it, so I'm like, I believe it. But then the next day, they dropped again another good video where like they're going to explain the plot, that it takes place before Logan and all that, which is probably the only way Hugh Jackman agreed to do it, not to piss off James Mangold, who's too fucking serious about these comic book movies, blah, blah, blah. Settle down, James. Like, you're doing Indiana Jones 5. Calm the fuck down. All right?
Can't wait for it. You know what it is, too? I think also this is their way of booking. Because I think what is going to happen is, obviously, like you said, it takes place before Logan, but it's that whole multiverse thing. So I think they might just kill him off because they introduced the new Wolverine. Because
they're new X-Men as well.
Yeah, they got a new Wolverine coming out. So, and then, they can make an announcement around this time. So they're using Deadpool 3 as just a market employee. So they just about to announce the new X-Men during this.
In a way, this is probably just to wrap up Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool in the MCU.
It's not going to die. We're going to get a fourth movie, I guarantee you.
Nah. Only if this. It's weird because they announced 2 different screenwriters. I mean, they announced a set of screenwriters when this movie was announced. They were replacing Paul Reese and Wernick and Reese. I always forget their first names. The guys who wrote the first 2 Deadpools were basically replaced by the people by these, I think, sisters that wrote on Bob's Burgers. So it showed like they want to go to a more like kind of kid-friendly route. And there was rumors of this is going to be PG-13. Then they hired Sean Levy, who did Free Guy with Ryan Reynolds, who directed that movie they did on Netflix, The Adam Project. So they're 0 for 2 in terms of collaboration. Like,
he just got his people
on. But also again, Sean Levy is very like very, 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 very poor man Spielberg.
Very, very poor man Spielberg.
Yeah, he tries that hard comedy, action, romance, drama. He tries to do all that. And some of his film, I've liked some of his films in the past. He did Date Night with Steve Carell and Tina Fey. That was actually pretty good. But his attempts he worked on Stranger Things is the thing. He was an executive producer and a director of a few episodes. Which again, that's a very poor interpretation of Stephen King meets Steven Spielberg. So don't get me started on that.
Right.
So Sean Levy is a guy, again, a steady hand. Like he's not bad as a director. It's nothing special. He's kind of, I'd say he's better than Ron Howard in terms of like how they threw in Ron Howard to save Solo. But this movie, it has me hyped. I'm not gonna lie. Seeing Hugh Jackman back as Wolverine is dope. But I'm also like, well, who's the rest of the cast gonna be? So I see Beats coming back. Is Josh Brolin coming back as Cable? Like you
Just
announce
bring her
those,
back. I'll tap in.
you announce those two come back, I'm gonna get hyped. Like
No, just her. That's fine.
even the kid from Deadpool 2, I wouldn't mind seeing him back.
I don't want to look like not Kona Reeves, Bronson.
Jonah, yeah, Jonah Rock, yeah,
He Australian as well.
yeah. I'm throwing fire. Like, he's like,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, Deadpool again. This movie's not coming out till 2024. Like they've made that loud and clear. Like settle your asses down. We have to make a whole movie. This is just an announcement. Like again, they spent the last 2 years like, what the fuck do we do? Oh, we can't make a kid movie that's gonna piss people off. And then they're like, well, what's Hugh Jackman doing? And they're like, nothing. He's trying to be an actor. Like,
Right. He's doing The Sun. I just looked that movie up too. It's definitely like it's gonna have Oscar.
yeah, I told you like they like that. The whole point of that trailer is like Hugh Jackman being like, "But you're my son." Like a very like you play that clip. It's like, and for the son, Hugh Jackman. Like, and then like you just like like slow clap when like they play his clip. Like,
It's gonna be some competition at the Oscars. We'll talk about it when we get close.
But the director of that movie directed the movie that got Anthony Hopkins his second Oscar, which is Anthony Hopkins winning an Oscar at 80 because he was doing again like performance. Yeah, like I'm an old man. Like shout to Anthony Hopkins, great actor,
phenomenal actor.
But yeah, Deadpool 3, 2024. Like again, like my God, this is MCU related too. Again, like this, you're saying we'll get a Deadpool 4. I don't think we will.
Shit, it's Disney. And it's the movie business.
Again, they're
if
really
it's gonna make money. They're gonna keep drawing. They're gonna.
True, I mean,
1,000 guitars.
They're really gonna try to make this R-rated, right? So it's like, how many attempts?
Hard to extent. I think it's gonna be hard PG-13.
I was about to say that there's gonna be like one, like they're gonna cross the threshold of having like 2 F-bombs and that 2 fucks. I don't know why I'm like being PG about it. Like they're gonna have 2
Bro,
fucks.
you can fucking cuss on it.
They're gonna, but again, like that's the thing. Like they said, we only could say the F-bomb twice, and like you can't show any blood or like any like you can show dry blood, but any running blood is what it is. Like you can chop someone's head off, but you can't show like the blood splurting out of it. So like we'll see.
What I'm saying. They're gonna make it a hard PG-13. They're gonna get bypassed. They're gonna bypass it.
But that's it. So I mean, let's get to I guess the last of the desserts, which is Rihanna, my Barbadian queen.
My Barbadian queen is fucking insane.
Performing at the Super Bowl. Yes. Just
she only could play 1 or 2 Drake songs.
No,
right?
but all her songs are hits. What do you mean?
No, I said Drake songs.
So
yeah,
I
I ain't talking about her hits. Bro, that's what people talking about. They want an album. Dog, she don't need to make an album. She got too many hits.
Yeah, I mean, she's gonna play like We Found Love, Umbrella,
Nah, this Disturbia. Disturb. There you go.
Fucking.
What's my name?
Yeah,
that's it. I don't need 2
She's
Drake
got
songs
for days. Like she's again like. I mean,
No,
she'll definitely play Work instead of What's My Name, or maybe both.
No, she gonna do What's My Name. That was a bigger hit. Work was huge, but not
Only Girl in the World.
She got all the She got all of the Mac JC Penney music, yo.
Ponder Replay. I mean, Please Don't Stop the Music. Like, come on, like she's gonna like this is gonna be.
Ain't no album. Everybody that's listening, there is no album. She lied to y'all. She got a big forehead and she light skinned. She gonna lie to y'all.
I'm glad she had like I love it.
We don't need another. And then what me and Davis is trying to say, she got so many. I'm not going against what y'all saying too. Please don't think I'm doing that. But it's like, dog, she got so many hits. Y'all don't need a new album. We don't never need a new album. Anti is
She's
one
a
of my favorite
mogul
albums ever.
now with a whole catalog of great songs. Again, that's the thing. Like she cashed out to get more cash. Like,
and it's kind of hard to get out of bed when you got $1 billion. They're gonna make a song. Like a lot of people talking about this Beyonce album. They just like it because it's Beyonce. Not saying it's bad. It's actually pretty good.
Whoa! I haven't heard it, so I mean,
no, it's actually pretty good. It's really good, but at the same time, it didn't get the feedback as her other albums. Well, she's 40 years old. She got 3 kids. No, I'm not saying this in a condescending way, please, because I don't want to have these weird motherfuckers.
Look at this 4-year-old bitch trying to put out music.
No, we can't. No, don't. Please, bro. I don't want to hear. I don't want to see no one Beehive, none of these lonely hoes. I'm talking about them. I don't want to see none of these. Yeah, in the comment section, please don't. So I'm saying she's just 40 years old. She got 3 kids. She one of the greatest artists of all time. She's worth $1 billion. It's kind of hard to get out of bed and really make a good album. So bring out Eminem. It's hilarious. Love the way you lie.
That would actually be good. Again, the features. I mean, all of the lights. Yeah.
Be honest. Who really cares other than you? Because you being nasty. You want to see this?
I love her music as well. Yeah.
During
I want people to have good music. Like again, like Bruno Mars had good music. I loved that performance. Like I don't care about fucking Coldplay. That's why they had to bring out Bruno Mars and Beyonce. Like
you like Bruno Mars?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you like Bruno Mars.
Well, he looks like The Rock in that era. So like
The Rock, look, Puerto Rican, Dominican, Guyanese. No, but
yeah, it's not just
when the last Bruno Mars album you enjoyed that came out 5 years ago?
I didn't listen to the well, again, I don't like Uptown Funk, but that's because I don't like that it's a Mark Ronson song. But I also just don't like that song in general. I think that's an overrated song. She
is by far one of the greatest artists of all time.
Again, it's not that I'm just lusting after her because she's Rihanna. Like she has great music. Like, come on, this is going to be a great performance. Like again, they were going to go with Taylor Swift was the rumor. Taylor's like.
I ain't seen Taylor Swift in like 6 years, bro. Since she couldn't buy her masters. Like that's what I'm saying. I ain't seen her on screen or nothing.
No, like keep her away. Like keep her away. Like,
hey man, check this out. It don't matter. It's gonna be Tom Brady versus probably the Ravens anyway.
Oh, we're not gonna start this. No, it's gonna be Cooper Rush against Lamar Jackson.
That ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, because that leads us to the mighty men of valor, as Michael Irvin. Be honest. Did you think this was promo of the year?
Every time he talks, it's promo of the year.
But I mean,
I'm
like genuinely, like I don't think I've heard until the Sami Zayn segment last Friday. Well, Jay White clapping his entire promo was pretty good too. But the Michael Irvin, like Lord knows I messed up many times myself. And the number 8 in the Bible, like he was. What's best about it though is that it mirrored our famous moment of you saying Tyler Perry and me no song, because this was, I think, the first time in his life that Stephen A. shut up. Like he didn't say it. He knew Michael Irvin was cooking. He just sat there like,
sit down, bro.
Sit down. Shut up. Like and then they cut. It's even funnier when they cut to them on the same set. And again, he's like this, and then they cut to the regular the Zoom screen, maybe the StreamYard screen, with Keyshawn Johnson in the middle, and even he's like, oh, shit, like
they were trying not to pop, but it was too late.
Yeah, because he goes like, it gets. I mean, the Michael Irvin again, cocaine's a hell of a drug, but he was also a hell of a wide receiver.
Also, you got to remember too, he from Florida, he from Broward County.
Yeah, I was about to say because the whole.
So it's not even, I don't even think it's coke at times because somebody was like, yo,
no,
why is he sweating
the finger? This defense is finger looking good.
I don't think it's always coke. I think he just be
no. It's again. We've established that drugs and where you're from are why people are the way you are. Drugs, women, and where you're from.
And besides that, I think he just
women, weed, and weather, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, he just naturally
swap out the weed for that booger sugar. But he says the Bible calls these men of valor, mighty men of valor. And I'm like, what? Like
he does it all the time. You don't remember when he's at the cathedral? So I'm like, oh, Saint Nick, please.
I lost it because he just like
bro. And then they was like, what about CD? They was like, what about CD?
Yeah, he said, I told you about CD that we're the number 8. And he's like, Lord knows I messed up many times. He's doing like a whole again, like
He be cutting like a promo inside of a promo. It's like Inception.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm like, what are we doing?
Like, makes you
If
go
I
with
was a
that first.
cameraman, I would just like zoom the fuck in to be like,
His best promo ever though is in
we want
2019.
more. We need more.
No, that's number 2.
We're
Remember
gonna
he was on First
rip
Take?
out their throat and like
That's number 2 or 3. Remember when he was on First Take 2018 or 19? Now you want to talk about history? Talk about your history. When he was going off on Stephen A. and they had to keep giving him the little wet wipes and it didn't work.
God, good Lord. Like, it's like,
bro, he was sweating at like 7 a.m.
Like what I do declare, like, oh shit, it's hotter than.
He was the only person sweating. I'm like, y'all
no,
indoors.
This is the man who created what's wrong with women today. They're not learning from mom. We're losing recipes to get more. And Sap was like,
right.
like to witness this man on set has to be like watching Eddie Murphy in his prime or like Richard Pryor in their prime. Just the comedy of like.
No, it's like watching The Mask, the movie with Jim Carrey, because it's like, dog, you going 0 to 100 super fast.
It's just it's like you sometimes. Is this man really saying this? Because like,
but the thing is with him, it's like, hold on, bro, slow down.
Yeah, because again, he's fast forwarding, but then rewinding because he's doing.
Like, imagine him being in the E, yo. If he was in the E, cutting pro or just wrestling in general, but more so.
I said this. We might have talked about him one time before, but I said he had probably the funniest like remark of all time after Artie Lang and Joe Buck went out on Joe Buck's HBO show, which was like the first and last episode of that show. And Paul Rudd and Jason Sudeikis are innocent bystanders. After they go to commercial and cut back, they're like, Joe Buck's like, "Oh, we got Michael in the crowd. So what do you think of what you just seen transpire here?" And Michael Irvin's like, "It's great to see white on white crime," and it's just like the funniest shit. Like he is 100% right because Artie Lang and Joe Buck just went at each other. And it's funny to try to see Joe Buck be like, "Fuck you, asshole," when like he's Joe Buck, like settle down, like this ain't you. And Artie Lang is like, again, like you're Artie Lang. You also need to settle the fuck down. You're a sidekick. Like going at Joe Buck is not hard to do, but like you're on the same level. Like,
well, when you on Howard Stern's show, you start thinking you bigger than what you are. So.
Exactly, but no, that he says it's great to see white on white crime. It's like, or white on white violence is what I think it was, but like an all time remark. Like, but again, this man says, "Oh God," I because I don't watch First Take, guys, so I just see what people see it on the timeline. And I just kept rewinding it because he does bingo looking good. I'm like, oh God, but then
that's how I knew we was in for a ride when I saw.
No, but I'm like, oh come on, just say. But he starts preaching like this mighty man of valor, and I'm like, I'll run through the fucking wall for Michael Irvin. Yeah, like let's. It built a callus in my body, like you know.
All right, bro. When he started off doing that, I said, "Here we go." When he started saying finger look. And he started doing the sound effects. I said, I know where we at.
The sound effects is a little like, and he said, "We're losing recipes," and then Floor and Sap, which is like.
But the thing is, when he started doing the pops thing, I said, "Here we go." When he started charging up, I'm gonna tell y'all as a Michael.
He's a playmaker. That's what he is. Like,
no, it's a gift. Like, ain't no drugs can do that. It just adds on to it. It's like the whole Barry Bonds steroids.
It is definitely like a Florida thing and a drug thing and
I think that's just a gift to be able to cut a promo again, like that.
Yeah,
like it's a lot of motherfuckers.
Yeah, these are the guys that. Well, these are the guys that talked trash on the field. Again, they were the you. Like, they were like, I don't. He might have still been on those teams when they were like Brian Bosworth, you bitch ass punk, like.
Anybody that's listening, or Davis, if y'all can give me that 30 for 30, let me know because I can't find it.
It should be on Disney Plus.
The one about the U?
Yeah.
Because I can't find it.
The 30 for 30 should either be on Disney Plus or Hulu.
Wait, that should be on Disney Plus. Thinking about it though.
Because they share that like ESPN content on both services. But
this dude is get off his dick. You've been on Josh Gordon's dick for years, bro. Stop it. He ain't gonna be on your fantasy team. You can't pick him up. He don't even play right now.
And then we'll kind of end the show with our our hard fucking pass of the week. There's kind of two in a way. One you're like great. One you're grateful for. No, I know. I don't mean to talk over you, but the hard fucking pass of the week is Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. You were more upset about this than I was because you were just like, we've had enough. Like, you were like, we don't need more. We don't want more. Like,
Fox, even though y'all got bought out by Disney.
Maybe you should have.
I should. Look, maybe I should.
Shut up, Ralph. Sit down.
yeah, Ralph Fox, sit down. Like,
Sit down. Like,
or Ralph
I don't know.
Disney.
I haven't seen any of these movies. I ain't seen since the first one when Redacted Franco was on there. I ain't seen one of them since then. So that was 10
you
years
didn't see
ago.
the Matt Reeves one.
I ain't seen none of
To
them.
pretend that Matt Reeves was that guy when he directed the shit out of the Batman, like people did, like people capped to say, like, we told y'all Matt Reeves was that guy. You haven't
You
seen
ain't
a
told us
fucking
shit.
second of those Planet of the Apes movies.
We haven't. Nobody.
You ain't watching guns on horseback with fucking M16s or whatever. Like, get the fuck out of here.
I ain't watched none of that shit. The only Planet of the Apes movie or anything Planet of the Apes, they trying to catch up to the originals. I think so. I seen one of those, Sean. Other
But
than
don't
that,
tell me you saw Tim Burton's Marky
Yeah.
Marks.
The
Okay,
Mark
let me tell
Wahlberg
you
one?
something. So I was curious about this because I've never seen this film except the last 5 minutes one time on TV in which he shows up and it's Abraham Lincoln.
yeah.
But I looked this up. So behind the scenes of this movie is fascinating for a couple of reasons.
Hey, listen. I got my own takes, but I'll leave it off here.
Mark Wahlberg dropped out of Ocean's 11 to be in this. Do you know who Mark Wahlberg was supposed to play in Ocean's 11?
Matt Damon's character.
The role that Matt Damon eventually got. So imagine how different those movies would be. And again, as much as I hate Matt Damon, I don't think Mark Wahlberg could have played Linus. Because Matt Damon, again, has to play like Matt Damon's a fucking snake and an asshole. So he's believable as like the cowardly type guy in the crew, which is what he is in Ocean's 11.
Wait, Mark could have did that. The problem with him is when he started cutting his promos, he'd be going too long.
No, the thing about Mark Wahlberg is he would be too cocky and like he can't be rusty, but that's the role he'd have to play. Again, he's not as good an actor as Brad Pitt, but he dropped out of Ocean's 11 to do this. And then the other thing was Tim Roth played the main villain ape, General Thade.
Sure.
But he turned down the role of Severus Snape in Harry Potter, which Alan Rickman then took over. And Alan Rickman is phenomenal. One overall, R.I.P., but phenomenal in Harry Potter. And Tim Roth dropped a major bag because there's fucking multiple Harry Potter movies, and there wasn't a sequel to fucking Planet of the Apes at least this version of Planet of the Apes. And let's not forget, Tim Roth is Mr. Orange from Reservoir Dogs, but he's the Abomination in The Incredible Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been funny to see him play Snape because eventually he like Daniel Radcliffe and him would be the same size because they're both about 5'7". They're both my height. Like Tim Roth is a short guy. It's like him to be like the tall. Like Alan Rickman works as Snape because like he's a tall guy. Like yippee-ki-yay, like some American cowboy as Hans Gruber. But
Who else lost a long-term bag over this movie?
No, it's just that those are the main two. But I just thought that was like fascinating. I mean, that he missed out on Ocean's 11 and then he missed out on Harry Potter. Like those are two all-time you fucked up. But yeah, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is going to be directed by Wes Ball, who did all the Maze Runner movies.
Oh, hell no. It'd get worse.
Now you're just like, shut it down. Shut it down.
Yeah, dog. Who okayed this?
Fox Disney, yeah. Like
Why? So this is their whole takeover. Like, hey, 2024, we're gonna run it
they're
up.
buying that content. They're like gonna carry on with the fucking Avatar movies, and we didn't need more of those.
And they re-released the first one, and I think it did numbers too.
But the other hard fucking pass of the week, but it's more just like out of like pity, is Star Trek 4. But they announced that Star Trek 4 is not going to happen because Matt Shankman chose Fantastic Four over Star Trek 4. He chose wisely.
And we didn't need it.
There's a bunch of reasons why I don't. I was only into it when they announced it like 4 years ago when they said they were going to try to do like the time travel trick of bringing Chris Hemsworth into it as Kirk's dad. Like they're going to do like that storyline, which I would have been into that to see Chris Hemsworth and Chris Pine, father son interact. Basically, what happened in Endgame briefly. And at that time, I think S.J. Clarkson was announced as a director, and she directed The Defenders, and she directed those shows poorly. Jessica Jones as well. But then they announced Max Shankman after WandaVision last year. But ultimately, he chose the bigger bag and the smarter IP because Fantastic Four, a lot of people are going to care about that than Star Trek. I mean, there are like 2-3 Star Trek shows on right now. And one's animated, but there's Picard, and then there's the 3 because there's a spinoff to the reboot show. So I know you're a Star Trek guy. I only really liked I kind of like Star Trek Into Darkness a little bit, but I really like that first J.J. Abrams Star Trek. But yeah, that one that Justin Lin did after he left the Fast and Furious franchise the first time, Star Trek Beyond, was not good. And they put Idris Elba in like an alien suit. Like, come on, really? The disrespect.
Deckard Shaw.
In the
He
future.
was like Captain Kirk. Like that's basically what it was. And then he
I was
also
about to say that. Remember Tarantino wanted to do it?
Yeah, 2 of his dream projects. He was supposed to do Casino Royale, but they did like he would have wanted to make it his way, and he wanted at one time to do a Star Trek movie. And this thing, like when that Star Trek 4 with Chris Hemsworth was being talked about, they said he was potentially going to write a Star Trek movie but not direct it. But since then, Paramount Plus, aka at the time of CBS All Access, the Viacom, CBS, that whole company has, like I said, made 3 Star Trek shows now since that announcement, and not a single movie. And at this point, like Chris Pine, we didn't talk about because this was when we were on our break, but like Chris Pine has a Dungeons and Dragons movie coming out next year. Did you see that trailer?
No, I still haven't seen it. The thing is, Van Diesel was fuming because he wanted to do that years ago.
Yeah, this trailer, it didn't like.
Wait,
it just looked. Huh?
I'm trying to see if I saw it.
Justice Smith from the Get Down. I'm sorry. Is in it. Michelle Rodriguez, the guy who played the bad guy in The Gray Man, is in it. The guy who's in the suit.
Oh yeah, I did see the trailer.
Yeah, it didn't look like that bad, like action and visual wise, but it just seems like they're going to try to do like medieval fantasy comedy. And
the game is dorky anyway. It's a board game, so you got to kind of do that, reenact it in a way where it works for all audiences, but it's a dorky premise anyway. So
yeah. And it's by the guys who did the movie Game Night, and they were the original writers of Spider-Man Homecoming and the original writers of the Flash movie. Because they were originally supposed to do the Flash movie as the directors, but they stepped down because at that time there's still creative differences, I think, with them. But yeah, then it doesn't look too bad. But that trailer, I'm like, yeah, I don't want to see this. And Chris, as we talked about a few weeks ago, like Chris Pine, you Fred forgot that he was Captain Kirk in the first place when I picked Star Trek 2009 as a movie.
Yeah, with this, hey man, it's for the nerds, bro. That's all it is. So, but no, Van Diesel definitely pissed off. He's like, Michelle, how did you get it? I want to make the movie. So
that's because I think she's just in the mood to piss him off because he's an egotistical prick, as we've discussed numerous times.
It seems like he pissing off a lot of people these days.
And I think that's it for news, right? Let me double check. You would, okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I want to leave this one alone. Hey, this on the white man right here.
No. I'm saying like you would fall in for that Robert Rodriguez About 100 Years movie thing.
It's coming out.
No, I swear it was like attached to like a fucking tequila or like some liquor thing. Like it was a legit commercial, but like the whole thing too was like actually Robert Rodriguez made a film to go like an actual film behind it. And I'm like, this is 2015. How the fuck are we gonna watch this movie in 100 years? Like the technology is gonna be different. Like you said, like is this gonna be a chip? Are we gonna even have movies? Like
it'll be a chip in your arm and you just watch it.
You think the world's actually gonna be like fucking Futurama shit? Like, aren't we gonna be like in The Last of Us? The trailer for that dropped. That show actually looks pretty good. We'll probably get it back on our HBO Max. You ain't fucking with it?
Hard pass me.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't play the game, so I'm excited for the show.
I think John Malkovich is gonna be alive in 100 years. Who's in the trailer?
Yeah, that's because John Malkovich was born at age 40. Like,
Exactly. He been bald for a minute.
no, he's just looked like he was like a person who was never young. That'd be a whole episode. Like people who were never young. What did they look like?
Patreon only. If y'all want that, say aye. That's the only way we'll talk about it.
We'd have to bring on like Joe and Van.
Well, Joe has been 40 since he was 10.
Okay. No, Joe looks like he's probably been 28 and will always be 28. Like,
yeah, he definitely Benjamin Button. You feel me?
But like I told you, Joe looks like the cartoon of the men eat steak, women eat salad. Like
He's just like a peanut character. I'm doing a Fast 10 update before we leave, people.
Oh, we forgot to talk about that. That was what I forgot to add last week. That Brie Larson's name. What was her name? Tess. Which is just so Vin Diesel like Tess. That's it. Like, yeah. Like, what's your update for Fast 10?
It looks like Vin Diesel's taking pictures with Michael Caine. I don't know what that means.
Michael Caine.
Is he trying to make his own Batman series? Otherwise than that, he keep on teasing that he wants to make the new Chronicles of Riddick movie.
All right, this man, again, this is when this man doesn't stop capping because he talked about this on an IG post like a year or two ago. He's like, I got the new script. Riddick. Like,
and then he has this.
We know how you sound behind the scenes, Vin. You sound like this. Like,
definitely. He got his Dungeons and Dragons big ass book. Yeah, he definitely upset he didn't get the role for that.
Yeah, he said like he was writing on something like, yeah, like.
Otherwise, now I think Fast 10 should be done with principal photography. At this point, it's been like what 4 months now.
Yeah, because that's when we did the episode in which Justin Lin said he split, like I'm splitting, about Dwayne Johnson. And speaking of Dwayne Johnson,
there you go. This your ISO.
So no, step up, you fucking coward.
I ain't a coward. He gonna beat your ass.
What's he been doing the last 2 weeks on social media, Banks? Besides lying about walking with his fake father.
Yeah, that's the only thing I'll heat him up about. Like the other shit, that's a given. Like we already know, you know what I mean? He gonna never mind. But
No. Because this man, when this man runs for president, he has to like get that stink of vote for Biden and Harris. Please vote for them. And that pissed off all of them. Fuck you mean, Dwayne? The Rock is fucking goddamn. Like, he has to get all that goodwill back. That's why he's taking all these pictures of all these white kids. But one, I mean, there's other reasons too.
I mean, ain't nobody checking for him, so.
But and plus, this man is going like on a global campaign tour to promote Black Adam because he knows he's done, he's cooked, he's a fraud. These movies don't make money. He's a liar. All of it. Like, you're finished, Dwayne. Face it. Like it or not.
Yeah, I will give him this. He's definitely like on an old like artist, like yo, buy my music type tour right now with Black Adam. Like he going OD with the promotion. It's like it's reminiscent of Hercules when he kept promoting. Like, bro, ain't nobody.
No, this is like how Tom Cruise had to do Mission Impossible 3 and like Night and Day when like his star was starting to fade. He had to like, I'm gonna do the crazy stuff we do in the movie on Good Morning America, and they're like, wow, okay, like that's what he's doing now, where he's like showing up to Comic-Con in the Black Adam suit. Again,
right. They had to put his big ass in that suit.
We're gonna go to all these 8 cities to promote this movie. It's like, face it, no one wants to see this movie.
Yeah, it's starting to look like that just because I barely hear anything about it. Like they campaigning for it. I see the marketing, but it's like ain't nobody talking about that shit. And because
the marketing is just him versus Hawkman and Dr. Fate. That's the marketing of the movie.
Yeah, and then nobody knows this character as well. That's the thing. Like unless you in the comics, nobody know who the fuck Black Adam is. Like even if it's The Rock, it's like all right, okay. Like I'm gonna watch it because they talked about 10 years ago. He was talking about this shit 10 years ago.
You talking about this shit 20 years ago when he had hair and actually looked like Black Adam.
Boy, if you want Vince McMahon to come back, Sean, that's how you do it. He'll lose his mind. He
But no,
see
this
that
man's doing again. He's doing his fake social media posting about being the nice guy and the hero and all that. No. I
yeah,
see.
it is getting annoying because it's like, all right, bro. Like somebody be posted about him, then he'll quote tweet it and give a whole fucking promo. Like, all right, bro, damn, we get it, you cool. And then I had to unfollow him on IG because it's like, dog, it's 2 fucking paragraphs of you explaining the situation. I don't care. Like, dog, we get
Let me
it.
tell you
Nice.
about Nick Khan. I've known Nick Khan my entire life. It's great to see Nick Khan be in WWE and his sister, the writer and creator of my show, who again I've known my entire life.
But I ain't like the shit with his pops, bro. He make his pops seem like the devil. Like, be it, I don't know his
This
personal
man
relationship.
is an actor, and he's probably like, I'm not your dad. Like,
Yeah, like he looked like he's like, like it's awkward. Like, bro, I'm here to do my
again,
job.
and we always talk about like the weirdo Hollywood shit. That he's lost it now. Again, he's gone too far. Gone.
Somebody said that on, you know what? You're not the first person to say that. Somebody I think said that on Twitter. Yeah, they posted the video.
I talked about it with you last week when he posted. I'm like, this is how you know he's either gone mentally, creatively, but also like he is now gonna believe what anyone ever says. Like it's your ego is here, but also like again, so like what Will Smith said about making that movie to like reconnect about his father, that movie that everyone panned. He's like, this movie was so therapeutic for me. It's like, you made a bad movie, Will. Face it. Like,
yeah, it's just like people are like, yo, that's kind of weird. Like because the thing is, I don't like contradictory. It's like, yo, you say your father's your hero, you love him, and then you'll turn around and say something like, I love him, but he was doing this, he was on the road. So it's like you're trying to make him seem like the hero and the villain at the same time, like a tweener. So this is like, yeah, my dad used to always be on the road, and I never really used to get to walk with him. Bro, you got pictures of him from the time he was a baby.
The whole show is about his dad training him at this point in his life.
Right.
Yeah, like, see, this is, oh, God. And I've been telling y'all for years, and you don't listen. All you do is say, oh, stop hating. This man is a fraud.
I never said
I'm gonna start talking like Sid. He's a fraud. He's a liar.
You gotta get your traps up. You gotta start talking like this. That's how I said.
The Rock. I hate you, Rock.
Right.
I hate your guts. Like,
but no, it's just weird. That father thing was weird. It's like, dog. And then
listen, he was right about Vin Diesel. We all know Vin Diesel is so pretentious, but Vin Diesel is also right about The Rock being a selfish asshole.
And that's from his words, people.
Like, these two, again, they deserve each other. That's why I said when that Ryan Reynolds Hugh Jackman video came out, like, y'all two need to do the same fucking thing for Fast 11. Like,
now they gotta fight it out at this point, bro.
That's what I mean. Like, patch it up. I mean,
No,
I don't think it'd be a fair
gloves.
I don't think it'd be a fair fight because Vin Diesel, as we know, is out of shape and 5'8".
Yeah.
So and even though who knows if Dwayne can actually fight, he's Samoan, so it should.
It's a strong,
but who knows?
Even if he can't fight, it's a strong possibility. If he catch you,
so either way, they're gonna fight like.
No, from The Rock might get you to sleep. Like, nah, I'm good. I ain't trying to find out.
But fix it.
Because some dudes that be swole like this, they can't fight, but at the same time,
that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah.
And I ain't never seen The Rock do cardio, so you're gonna have to work the body.
Of course, he doesn't run in his movies. What do you mean? Never see him do? Like, you never see him run in a movie?
Like, I ain't never seen.
It's a miracle how he. It's a miracle how he. That's why he did the slide that one time. He's like, oh shit, like, because I can't.
Right, bro. Yeah, I ain't never seen The Rock. Even when he used to run the ropes, that shit used to be slow.
Yeah, no, but he had that good bounce off because when he would do the float over DDT, he was agile. That's what we should say. Yeah.
That's hilarious. Vin Diesel has dirt range is hilarious.
You think he's gonna like grab his die and like put it in his eye like ah? Like,
no, he's gonna grab his Zelda sword and just swing it at him. The plastic one.
But that's it for the news. Again, if you've been watching live, thank you. This is going to be up on the Patreon, but it'll be released at a later point. So if you're watching this on the Patreon, having missed live, we appreciate it. Our regular episode is going to be dropped. We're going to be recording that for hours. We got to take a lunch break. rest, refuel, and then we'll be back here on YouTube talking about 2000s music. We'll see y'all in a bit. Peace.
Bye, motherfuckers.